Assalamu alaikum. I greet you with peace and blessings. Welcome to this week's An Nur the Light. Growing up in Johannesburg can be very dangerous, but not if you're our next guest. He has risen to the top of his sport and become an ambassador not only for South Africa, but to the global karate community as well.
Solly Said is regarded as somewhat of a karate living legend. Growing up as a young boy in a tough neighborhood got Solly to enroll in karate, and the rest, as they say, is history. After 52 years, karate has shaped Solly Said into the master he is, and it has become a total way of life.
To me, I don't think I go and do karate anymore. My life has just become karate, you know. I get up in the morning, I practice, I train, I plan, I work on strategies, whatever it is has to do with karate. There's a saying in karate, the essence of karate is daily cakewalk, daily practice. So, you know, in my lovely lifetime, all my, you know, a joyous lifetime of many, many adventures, karate has been a major part of my life.
As his love for the sport grew, so too did his commitment. He traveled the world and trained with some of the greatest karate masters of the past century. This is where his love for teaching was also born, and Solly gave up his job and opened his very own dojo. It is now one of the oldest martial arts schools in the country, and Solly still conducts weekly classes.
I opened my first dojo up the road here in Mint Road. The building was called AEL Center. I had one wing doing karate, and one wing was my gym. In 1975, I started as a full-time karateka and gym instructor, physical cultural instructor. I have done nothing else since then. So for 41 years, that's all I've done. 51 years since I started karate. I discovered last year that I'm teaching 4 generations of students. I'm teaching my students' great-grandchildren. So it's been my entire life.
Family has been instrumental in Solly's success. His family has been the backbone of both his life as well as his business. These days, the children too are getting involved in making the dojo a family-run business.
I've been blessed, you know. As you can see, my wife is a 4th Dan. She's supposed to go for a 5th Dan some 4 or 5 years ago. She's always postponing it. My eldest daughter was a 4th Dan. She doesn't teach or do much karate now, but she still teaches physical fitness and health. My daughter Zahra, she's a 4th Dan, going for a 5th Dan as well, and she's a yoga teacher. My son just got his 4th Dan now 4 weeks ago, and so everyone in my family have been involved in karate without my twisting their hands. You know what I mean? Did he want to do it? My son wanted to go and get involved in soccer for many years. He was involved in soccer as an analyst, and last few weeks ago, he said to me, Daddy, I'm ready to come into the dojo. So hopefully, today was his first day as a full-time instructor with me, you know what I mean? So family also complements my lifestyle of karate.
Solly's passion for martial arts has landed him several prestigious national and international awards. He is an inductee of the World Multi-Martial Arts Hall of Fame and continues to be an inspiration to all who cross his path. Even though he's achieved all the success, Islam remains foremost as a guide to his life.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the sword is a key to both hell and heaven. Use it for good and you go to heaven. Use it for bad and you go to hell. The karate saying, or martial arts saying is, under the cross sword is hell. One step forward is heaven, you know? So you look at these similarities, there's so many of them. The Ray Shiki, when we say Ray, the English is not bow. It does not say, this is not bowing. This is showing courtesy. This is showing respect. So, you know, in the Middle East also people say Assalamu alaikum, they shake hands, they do this to their ustads, whatever it is. The two are so amazingly parallel to each other and so beautiful the way they complement each other that it has been my source of all inspiration.
After 51 years of learning and teaching martial arts, the boy from Fetus in Johannesburg is all grown and become a role model to many. He's never forgotten his roots nor the place where his love for martial arts began, and often returns to the area to just catch up. Solly Said is a true South African hero and a Muslim who others can be extremely proud of.
I'm sure by now many of you have those Eid outfits ready and waiting for the big day. For those who don't, check out our street style for some inspiration.
As you can see, it says I love my hijab, so that's exactly it. I saw the t-shirt online and I thought I need to have something like this, and I found a long enough t-shirt that I liked. A lady that I worked with, she had a printing company and she did the printing for me. Yeah, I think that it says a lot about who I am.
Growing up, I've always been extremely passionate about fashion. And yeah, I was always regarded as the stylish kid. So I guess I had it in me from a young age.
My personal style would be simple, very simple, with one statement piece. Yeah, just simple, monochrome.
I'm wearing a blazer, slightly oversized, the t-shirt as well, some skinny jeans and superstars. Growing up, my dad was a bit strict, so I wasn't really allowed to do the whole sneaker thing. And now that I don't live at home anymore, I kind of grew into my own fashion sense.
Today, I'm wearing a street style outfit, a pair of distressed black skinny jeans, paired with a classic white t-shirt, a leather biker jacket, a black on black snapback, as well as the ever famous superstars Adidas.
I've got a black long top and over black pants, black shoes, and then my statement piece would be the pink windbreaker.
I obviously watch a lot of YouTube videos, and then also there's a lot of pages on Instagram that I follow, Dina Tokyo and a couple of other people who do these hijab tutorials. So my hijab is inspired by what I see on these YouTube videos.
My inspiration is drawn mainly from designers in South Africa as well as from abroad. And yeah, I basically take key pieces that I see on the runway and put together a street style ensemble from that.
I follow everything that's going on in Fashion Week all around the world. So I enjoy unique pieces from different designers. So I tend to gravitate towards our European brands that are based mostly in the waterfront, where I can find unique pieces, and then, like today's outfit, I place them on black canvas, which is black pants, shoes, and then so that unique piece is my statement piece in my outfit.
Eid Ul Fitr is the celebration that marks the end of fasting for Muslims globally. We've prepared a very special commemoration of this day for you to enjoy.
The day of Eid Ul Fitr is celebrated globally to commemorate the end of the fasting period. It usually starts off early in the morning as young and old ready themselves to attend mosque and perform their Eid Salah.
Eid Ul Fitr is marking the end of the month of Ramadan, beginning the month of Shawwal, and it is a day of celebrations. As Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, لِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ عِيد وَهَذَا عِيدُنَا. Every nation that are on this earth, they have a day of celebration or they have a festival. Eid Ul Fitr is the festival of a Muslim.
Eid Ul Fitr morning is spent in prayer. This is a time for giving thanks for the blessings of Ramadan. Muslims have just spent the past 30 days abstaining from eating and drink as part of their religious duty to their Creator.
We do have fun, we do have merry, we do have all the goodies, but our celebration starts where we will glorify the Almighty Allah on this day. Normally on the day of Eid, after the morning Fajr prayer, what we would do is, when the sun rises immediately, then we will read 2 rakats of salah, which is called Eid Salah, and we will glorify Allah, and we will call out the takbir, which is Allahu Akbar. We will call it out 7 times, or we will call it out 11 times or so. So our celebration starts with glorifying the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Eid is a day where families gather to wish each other well. Food and drink are in abundance as they celebrate the day. In some countries, the festivities carry on for 3 days, but in South Africa, most Muslims only observe 1 day.
Eid Ul Fitr is significant to me as the end of the month of Ramadan, and Eid Ul Fitr is significant for a person who is going to perform Hajj, because a person who wants to make Hajj, on the 29th, 30th of Ramadan, if he had to don an ihram and say, I'm going to make Hajj with this ihram, will be void, it will be null. And the 1st of Shawwal, which is the day of Eid Ul Fitr, marks the beginning of the days of Hajj. So you find that the day of Eid Ul Fitr is a day of celebration, but yet another ibadah starts in the form of Hajj immediately.
On this day, Muslims are forbidden from fasting, as the day of Eid is specifically designated to celebrate. Many people will go out and buy new clothes to mark the day. Special dishes are cooked and served for the great feast at lunchtime. Ramadan reminded Muslims not to forget about those less fortunate, and many organizations ensure a pot of food is distributed to the needy.
On this day, you open your heart and you look towards those who are the underprivileged also, those who do not have, and you even go to this extent that you will give Sadaqatul Fitr on this day. It has been said by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when a person, a believer, a mu'min, when he fasts, his fast is between the earth and the skies and the heavens. By giving Sadaqatul Fitr, it purifies the fast, and that fast will reach the Almighty. The ultimate fasting is for the Almighty, to cleanse it. That is why Sadaqatul Fitr is given, and at the same time benefiting the poor and the needy so they could also enjoy this day.
The festival of Eid Ul Fitr is a fitting tribute to the month of Ramadan. Together with the holy pilgrimage, it forms the biggest events for Muslims. They are encouraged to remember the lessons learned during Ramadan and implement these in their daily lives. Eid Mubarak.
books, tech and app segment has been a lifesaver for me on so many occasions. From finding the direction of the Qibla to some interesting reading, it has it all. Let's check out what they have for us this week.
Sheikh Hari's spectrum of reality, Sufi insights, explores faith in a practical sense by discussing the mysteries of spirituality and the need to fight a higher level of consciousness. It goes beyond religious and political differences and draws on the commonality of our spirituality, our reality and the divine. In a world of violence and conflict, this book aims to promote a celebration of our humanity and our longing for peace and intervention. Consciousness of time, continuity and living in the present are discussed in this great read and truly can only add to one's spiritual journey. Techfugees is exactly as its name states, technology for the benefit of refugees. It is a social enterprise started by Mike Butcher in which the tech community came together to respond to the growing refugee crisis. Techfugees has come together at conferences, workshops, hackathons and meetups to generate solutions to help refugees around the world. Islamic kids songs for Android truly is revolutionary in that it brings many well-known nasheeds together with animated characters, allowing for your little ones to become familiar with these in a fun and exciting way. Keep your children productive and tech-savvy, but in a way in which contributes to their deen.
It's time to go to the masjid. Wash your face up, let's pick the pace up. It's time to go to the masjid.
Children can spend hours singing along with nasheeds from around the world.
It's a wonderful place to go as a family.
If you still need ideas for Eid lunch, then Lamise Detour has got just what you need. This week she shares her braised steak recipe with us.
Assalamu alaikum. In my home, braised steak is a firm favorite. And when you found that recipe that everybody loves, you tend to make it all the time and people get sick of it. So what I've done is I've added just a few quirks and turns to my original braised steak recipe. And to make that, you need the following ingredient. So what I start off with is 1 kilo of tenderized braised steak. I've got a punnet of mushrooms that I've sliced, and you've noticed that I've sliced kind of thickly because you want the bite of the mushroom to still be there once you've cooked it all down. I've got 2 medium-sized onions. I've got 2 green chilies that I've just sliced open, left the seeds in because everything just tastes so much better with chili. And then I use 2 varieties of pepper. I've got the white pepper. For me, it's got a creamier taste to it. And then I've got the pepper, which is a lot more robust and gives you sort of that burny sting at the back of your mouth. I've got oil for frying. I've got cream that we're going to add to our mixture right at the end just to give it a nice creamy sauce. I've got garlic. I've got salt to taste. And just to enrich my stew, what I do is I add beef stock. So it just adds that punchy, beefy, robust flavor at the end. So it's simple and easy to do. So we're going to start off by heating my pan, and I'd say a medium heat. I don't braise my onions until they're nice and golden brown because it's unnecessary. So all that I do is just soften them, pop them into the oil. Almost immediately I add my steak. And once my steak is softened sufficiently, that's when I start to brown it all off. So with my onions, and to make sure that I get the maximum flavor out of my green chili, I pop these in at the same time. Because then your chili oil diffuses into the oils itself and it just flavors the entire dish. So now that my onions are just lightly sauteed, I'm going to start by adding my beef. So I just pop these into the pan. No specific format, just very randomly, getting as much surface area covered as you can. I'm going to add my pepper in sections. So a bit of black pepper, the white, some garlic in between, and then I'll layer up with the next layer of steak. You can layer this, you don't have to. This is just me being OCD because I want to make sure that you get maximum flavor throughout the dish, but it's really not necessary. So in goes the rest of my pepper and the balance of my white pepper. And of course some garlic. So at this point you'll notice I'm not adding any salt, and that's because salt actually slows down the cooking process of your meat. So I'm going to give this a quick stir, pop the lid on, and let this just cook down for about 30 minutes. Oh, that smells good. So my steak's been braising for about 20 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is add my beef stock that I've just added to about a half a cup of water. And you make sure you want all this beefy goodness to get in there. And this is why I don't bother to brown my steak, because this just makes it a nice, dark, rich, stew-like kind of sauce. And just before everything is too soft, our mushrooms. Now, if you don't have mushrooms, substitute it with any of your favorite vegetables. I wouldn't do carrots or peas or anything along those lines, but it works really well with baby marrows. Even just adding in fresh spinach, letting that wilt down with your cream is really delish. So it's a nice way to get your veggies in, or sort of, I suppose, meat into veg. Give this a quick stir, and again, I'm not adding any additional moisture because the mushrooms, again, bleed its own moisture. On with the lid and let this go for another 10 minutes until it's all soft. And lastly, we add our cream. And I think we're just about there. The beef is a lovely, rich color, and this is why I said don't add the salt. Beef stock in itself is quite salty, so the best way to do this is a taste test. And it needs just a hint more salt, but before I add that, the cream. And my final touch, just a pinch of salt. So all that this needs now is some yellow rice, or mashed potatoes, or even noodles if you prefer. But all I want right now is some yellow rice and a fork. And there we have it. Braised steak, better than you've ever had it before. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Remember, this is but one of the many recipes that we have. If you're looking to make something different this Eid, then you can find all Lamiza's cooking online. Just log on to YouTube and search for An Nur the Light. It's Eid Ul Fitr, another year, another sacrifice. Jazakallah for joining us every week. From me, Mari Mukwanda, and the An Nur the Light team, we'd like to wish you an Eid Mubarak. Salang Hantle, Assalamu alaikum.